This person argues cops are trying to cover their asses and you bought it hook, line, and sinker. And I reply, as I explain in the video, his own lawyer is saying this. It isn't just the cops. His lawyer for the case where he faced a felony due to him having a gun. And someone else replied, look man, I know all about cops abusing their power, lying on probable cause affidavits, abducting and assaulting, torturing people, even killing people and getting away with it. However, there are times when they are 100% justified in killing. I agree with what this video says completely. The whole point is that people shouldn't freak out before the facts come to light. I don't see how there's any argument against such a reasonable position. Kevin Chambers argues he had a sandwich, not a gun. He asks, was the officer aware of the ankle bracelet at the time of the shooting? If not, your pronouncement is of no subsequent value as to the shooting and only serves to confuse. Kevin, you wrote as a fact he had a sandwich, not a gun. Let's deal with cases we know the facts about. The point of this video and my following one was to say it doesn't make sense to assume that's the case. Given the facts, first of all, it doesn't make sense on an assumption to go out and do all these protests. You should know what you're protesting about and make sure you're accurate about it. He says, black youth are being shot and killed far too often in America for you to, once again, come to officers' defense. At what point will it be realized that authority is no longer a credible authority? Peace, rep of Who Press. Here's one of the replies to Kevin's comment. They recovered the gun. You seem to be the type of person this video is intended for. Imagine my surprise that you cannot even understand the relevance of a prior gun charge in this case. I guess I will have to explain it to you. Makes it a lot easier to believe the guy had a gun when he was wearing an ankle bracelet for an unlawful use of a gun and resisting arrest. Dude, most likely he did not want to go back to jail because he knew he would be there for a very, very long time. It is so sad and downright wicked that you are trying to sensationalize this so you have subject matter for your biased videos. It truly shows what a low-life, bottom-feeding character you have. Just because you wear an ankle bracelet doesn't make you a murderer. Stereotyping. Well, first of all, I never said he was a murderer. What I'm saying is it doesn't make sense to assume that the police version is a lie, given what we know at this point. And as I've been saying, it doesn't make sense then to protest before we have all the facts, or at least enough facts to be sure that we know what we're talking about. We can read the rest of that comment, but I reply, I make an effort to be fair and just. Just because there is police brutality and wrongdoing doesn't mean every situation is the case of such a thing. I have advocated for having cameras on the cops and monitors watching over what they do. Many people think I've been fair and objective and have approved of my comment. And if you look, someone commenting said, I agree with what this video says completely. The whole point is that people shouldn't freak out before the facts come to light. I don't see how there's any argument against such a reasonable position. And now we see these pictures with him posing with 3 guns and flashing gang signs. I think my warning was correct. Then I write, see my new video, Vonderrit Myers, aka Droop the Shooter, posing with guns in photos on Instagram. And as I should point out, Droop the Shooter, that's not my nickname for him. That's either his own nickname he gave himself or what his friends gave him, because that's what his friends were posting on the pictures on Instagram. And this is why you should wait for more facts to come in, because we don't want protesters running around and then photos coming out like this, making them look foolish. Organizers should take more care in researching and verifying information. It puts them in a bad light to have these organizers getting them worked up over something that makes them look foolish. And my next video will show you how there are people instigating, misleading the public about basic facts about this case. That really is underhanded. And another comment in one of these videos, what am I hoping to accomplish? I don't want to see people wasting their efforts and being manipulated and then made to look like fools when we find out the facts behind this guy. And the more we learn, the worse it looks. But already the context should have given you a clue. I think I'm looking at this objectively, and I see people are being manipulated by false information and misleading information on these social media and websites. This person complains, I really don't know why you feel the need to justify these shootings of black teens. Nadine for Love complains, as this person quotes, even if it turns out this case is justified, it doesn't excuse all the other shootings of unarmed black men. And as this person says, he's not trying to excuse the other shootings, though. He's warning us not to jump to conclusions when it comes to guilt and innocence. And I say, exactly. And it's a shame that people pushing these protests aren't sharing this information with protesters to allow them to know more of the story. This video would have more views by now if some of the people involved in promoting the protests were willing to share it so that everyone has a fair chance to hear these facts. And my next video will make the point that there are people spreading false information. And my concern is I don't want to see protesters protesting in good faith being manipulated and being made to look like fools by people who are making assumptions and actually putting out false information and misleading information about this case and tricking people. Someone was arguing that they're not really protesting for this guy. But yes, they are. I can see the protest. There's people very irresponsibly inciting people, and they're doing so using false and misleading information. And that's what I'll feature in my next video.